Friends, we can all see that many white bloggers have millions of followers. Please support me too, because my followers are still few. Black bloggers also deserve to be famous. My friends, let's unite and lift each other up. Please press subscribe button and like. In the heart of Texas, just outside Abilene, rancher Curtis Delaney faced an ongoing battle with his HOA. After replacing his mailbox 4 times in 6 months, each time crushed by the same patrol SUVs, he decided enough was enough. Frustrated by the dismissive attitude of the HOA board, led by the smug Gregory Winslow, Curtis resolved to build a mailbox that would withstand the onslaught. Late into the night, he sketched designs for a mailbox made of steel and concrete, determined to send message. When he finally installed, the mailbox looked ordinary, but was anything but. The first time a patrol SUV hit it, the impact was thunderous, and the patrol car crumpled like a soda can. Curtis watched as the driver stumbled out, bewildered. "What the hell is that thing?" he exclaimed, staring at the unscathed mailbox. Neighbors gathered, murmurs of disbelief and admiration rippling through the crowd. "Looks like you built yourself a fortress," said Sherman Hayes, a supportive neighbor. But not everyone was pleased. Edith Rowland warned Curtis that he would get sued, and Gregory Winslow arrived, furious and demanding the mailbox be removed. "You created a hazard," Gregory snapped, but Curtis stood firm. "This is my property. If your patrol drivers can't control their vehicles, that's not my fault." The tension in the air was palpable, and for the first time, Curtis felt a shift in the balance of power. As the weeks passed, the HOA's intimidation tactics escalated. Patrol cars lingered near his property, and Curtis received threatening notes warning him to take down the mailbox. But he refused to back down. The community was divided, with some supporting him and others fearing the repercussions of his defiance. Then came the legal notice. The HOA was suing him for violating community standards, claiming his mailbox was an unsafe obstruction. Curtis felt the weight of the world on his shoulders, but he was determined to fight back. With the help of attorney Maxine Porter, he prepared for battle, knowing that this was about more than just a mailbox. It was about dignity and respect. The lawsuit became a spectacle, drawing attention from the community. Neighbors whispered about Curtis's bravery, some calling him a hero, while others labeled him reckless. As the court date approached, the HOA realized they had underestimated Curtis's resolve. With mounting pressure from the community and the threat of public embarrassment, they dropped the lawsuit just weeks before the hearing. Sitting on his porch one evening, Curtis reflected on the journey. The mailbox still stood, a symbol of his determination, and a reminder that respect is earned, not given. But just as he began to feel a sense of peace, a new challenge emerged. The HOA, humiliated by their defeat, began to plot their revenge point one evening. Curtis overheard a conversation at the local diner. "Did you hear? The HOA is planning to tighten their grip on the neighborhood rules," one neighbor said. Curtis's heart raced. He knew he had to act quickly. He gathered his closest allies, including Sherman and a few other supportive neighbors, to discuss the looming threat. "We can't let them take control again," Curtis urged. "We need to stand together, not just for my mailbox, but for everyone's right to live peacefully." As they strategized, the tension in the room was palpable. They knew that the HOA would not back down easily, and the stakes were higher than ever. The community was at a crossroads, and Curtis felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. The next HOA meeting was set to be a showdown. Curtis and his allies prepared to confront Gregory Winslow and the board, ready to defend their rights and their community. As they entered the community center, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. Neighbors filled the seats, eager to witness the clash. Curtis took a deep breath, knowing that this was not just about him anymore. It was about standing up for what was right, for the dignity of every resident in the neighborhood. As he stepped to the front, he could feel the eyes of the community on him, a mix of support and apprehension. "Tonight, we're not just discussing mailboxes," Curtis began, his voice steady. "We're talking about our rights as homeowners, our right to feel safe and respected in our own community." Just as he was about to delve deeper into his speech, the door swung open, and in walked Gregory Winslow, flanked by a group of HOA members. The tension in the room escalated as Curtis locked eyes with Gregory, both men knowing that this was a moment that would define their battle. "Curtis," Gregory said, a smirk playing on his lips, "I see you've gathered quite the crowd. But let's not forget who's in charge here." Curtis felt a surge of determination. "This isn't about control, Gregory. It's about community. It's about respect. And I refuse to let you bully us any longer." The room erupted in murmurs of agreement, and Curtis knew he had struck a chord. But just as he was gaining momentum, Gregory interrupted. "You think you can rally everyone against us? You're mistaken. We have the power to enforce our rules, and we will not back down." The stakes had never been higher, and Curtis realized that this was not just a battle for a mailbox. It was a fight for the soul of their community. As the meeting continued, Curtis prepared to make his stand, knowing that the outcome could change everything. And just as he was about to deliver his final argument, the lights flickered ominously, plunging the room into darkness. A collective gasp echoed through the crowd, and Curtis felt a chill run down his spine. What was happening? In that moment of uncertainty, Curtis knew that the fight was far from over. The HOA had underestimated him before, but now, with the community behind him, he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The indestructible mailbox was just a beginning. This was a battle for their rights, their homes, and their future. As the lights flickered back on, Curtis stood tall, ready to confront the chaos that was about to unfold. The fight for respect and dignity had only just begun. And in that charged atmosphere, with the community rallying behind him, Curtis felt a renewed sense of purpose. This was not just about Mailbox. It was about reclaiming their rights and standing firm against those who sought to control them. With the crowd support behind him, he took a deep breath and stepped forward, ready to make his stand. "We deserve to live without fear of harassment. We deserve to have our voices heard," he declared, his voice rising above the murmurs of the crowd. But just as he was about to continue, a loud crash echoed from the back of the room. Everyone turned to see a group of HOA members pushing through the crowd, their faces set in grim determination. "This meeting is over," one of them shouted, brandishing a stack of papers. "We're here to enforce the new regulations." Curtis's heart raced. This was the moment he had feared. The HOA was not just going to sit back and let him speak. They were ready to fight back. "You can't silence us," he shouted, his voice steady despite the chaos. "We have the right to speak." The crowd erupted into a frenzy, some shouting in support of Curtis, while others expressed fear of the HOA's power. The atmosphere was electric, charged with tension and uncertainty. Curtis knew he had to act quickly to maintain control of the situation. "Everyone, please," he called out, raising his hands to calm the crowd. "We need to stand together. This is our community, and we won't let them take it from us." But just as he was gaining momentum, Gregory stepped forward, a smug smile on his face. "You think you can rally these people against us? You're mistaken, Curtis. We have the law on our side, and we will do whatever it takes to maintain order." Curtis felt a surge of anger. Order? Is it orderly to bully your neighbors? Is it orderly to destroy my property and then threaten me with legal action? The crowd began to murmur in agreement, and Curtis could feel the tide turning in his favor. But Gregory wasn't finished. "You're making a mistake, Curtis. You're turning this community against itself. We have rules for a reason." Curtis took a deep breath, knowing that this was a moment that could change everything. "These rules are meant to protect us, not control us. We deserve to have a say in how our community is run." Just then, the lights flickered again, and the room plunged into darkness once more. A collective gasp echoed through the crowd, and Curtis felt a chill run down his spine. What was happening? In that moment of uncertainty, Curtis knew that the fight was far from over. The HOA had underestimated him before, but now, with the community behind him, he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Do you want to know the fate of the heroes? Please post part 2. Subscribe to the channel and continue watching. Your opinion and support are important to me. Leave it in the comments. Thank you.